Broadcasting from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty West Coast, we greet you all. Good morning, good evening, whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings indeed to one and all. This is The Launch. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
And my name is Brent.
Hello, you two. Here's a few things to know before we get going. You really should give us a call, you know. We love it when you do. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. We're going to prove it to you today, too. Give us a ring. 774-462-5667. You want to give us a holla? That's right. It's 774-462-5667. Podcast is live on a Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC, or jblive.tv in your podcasting tuner app of choice. And then it comes out Wednesday morning for download after editor Drew makes it all nice. And of course, you can always join us in our chat room. It goes all day long, every day. That is the Launch HQ on Matrix. And our website is weeklylaunch.rocks. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Well, Andrews, I asked you, like, what are you thinking about talking about today? Mm-hmm. And you said to me, empty nesting.
Yep.
And I thought, oh my God, is that time? Is it that time?
No, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so as you both know, we had a family reunion, and I say we because Brent came along too.
Oh, yeah.
Became part of the family this weekend.
That's right. You were at our family event this weekend.
And I was talking to your cousin, Angela.
Still coming.
And,
yeah. Oh, right. Yes.
And,
the other Angela.
Yeah. And I didn't know this, but I thought our kids were way closer in age, but she's an empty nester. That's how she opened. I'm an empty nester now. I'm like, whoa, what?
That hits.
Yeah. They're off to college. So
she's only like a few minutes ahead of me in life, really.
Yeah. And her kids too. But anyway, and that got me thinking, even like a coworker's like, you're going to miss these days and whatever. And yes, I am going to miss these days, but there's a lot that I want to do, you know? Like I missed the pre-show because I was dropping kids off at school. Right. And you know what I realized? Dylan could be driving himself to school. So anyway, there's just a lot of things that I'm looking forward to.
I think about travel a lot.
With empty nesting. Mm-hmm. And...
What's the top one? Like, what you got? Like a couple for me? I mean, obviously, besides all the driving around all the time.
Well, okay, so sleeping in. You know, nice. I have a work from home job. I could sleep in, but I have to make sure that everybody gets up and out and, you know, gets everything that they need. Not having to leave the house in the middle of the day of my work day, all these doctor's appointments and stuff. Like, it's drowning me.
And don't forget all the after school things and the weekend stuff.
Yeah, it's so many things. But, and the kid trade off and trying to figure out like, oh my gosh, I am definitely ready for that to be done. But probably crafting, reading, karaoke, like those are my top three things that I want to do. But I am thinking that I'm going to dual enroll Dylan and Abby in driver's ed.
That's a fun idea,
right? There's a lot of rules and regulations, and it varies from place to place. But since Dylan he'll be 17 next month, he hasn't gotten his permit yet. He has to hold his permit for 6 months before it can be converted to a driver's license. He can't just go get a driver's license because he is 16, which I think is what we could do when we were younger.
Mm-hmm. He can take driver's ed.
On the one hand, if they do driver's ed together, they're doing it together and they both have something to look forward to. Yeah. If for some reason we wait any longer, Abby will be able to drive before he can.
He's not going to like that.
No. So anyway, that's like the next big thing that I am going to try to get started is figuring out, I am pretty sure it costs a ton of money to do driver's ed now and time, of course. So that is the next step towards the empty nest.
And then it just and that's just the beginning of the cost.
Yeah, and then good luck seeing them ever again because they're just going to be driving all over the place.
Independence, baby.
Well, if they have gas money. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You'll see them for gas money.
Yeah, that's true. I see the 90s told me, because I watched a show. I don't know if you guys remember this show. I'll play a little member berry to see if it comes back to you. Back in the 90s, like Silver Foxes were a hit on comedies. There were several Silver Fox comedy shows, just older guys.
Okay, I was going to say, is that older guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And, they had a show called Empty Nest, and I actually watched it.
No way.
And reminds me of this. And it set the expectations high.
Life goes on, and so do we. Just how we do it is no mystery. One by one, we fill the days. We find 1,000 different ways. Sometimes the answer can be hard to find. That's something I will never be.
Yeah, so my expectation is like a lot of parties and neighbor shenanigans.
Dancing in the living room, going fishing.
Yeah. Closing doctors.
Did you watch this with your grandpa?
Probably.
Because I've never seen or heard of this before.
Yeah, I mean, I might have. I definitely watched it back in the day. That was a fun show, and it set the expectations quite high. So I expect that it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of Chris running around, traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you do that already?
Right.
For longer periods of time.
Yeah, right.
Months in El Salvador.
Not having to worry about, months in El Salvador. Atypical Colonel saw my shirt, which is a Harry Potter shirt, and asked which Harry Potter house do each of the hosts belong to.
Oh boy,
that's putting it on the scene.
It's a sore subject right now in particular because Land Trek tried to copy Hogwarts and X-Men First Class and put it into a Star Trek show. So I don't want to get into it.
Well, I'm a Ravenclaw.
So okay, there you go. You got one, Brent?
You tell me. I had to be forced to watch.
How about the one
this.
with the snake?
That probably is anti-me. Anything but
Anti-me?
that, probably.
All right, if you want to boost it and tell us whatever your house is, that's great. And if you're a parent now, do you feel guilty about looking forward to your empty nesting season, or are you looking forward to it and you have big plans?
And new driver stories.
Oh, God, they're going to freak us out, Ange.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to be prepared.
I have advice. Start with a tractor.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
On a farm.
Well, yeah.
In a field.
That's one
not
of
on the
his
road.
favorite
Yeah.
jokes. Where's my tractor?
Where's my tractor? Yeah. What'd the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Where's my tractor? All right, boost in. Let us know. Driving stories. Empty nesting stories. You get it. You get it. We want to hear from you. You can also leave us a voicemail.
Test. I like it.
All right, so I promised last week that we would do a voicemail catch-up because we had to run, and so we have a nice batch of voicemails. And I will say that we cut Nick off last week, and I felt bad about that.
Oh.
So we're going to start with Nick.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to my launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
Hey, crew. It's Nick from Ecuador again. So I know I just called you, but I'm calling you back because I pressed play on the rest of the episode and went, ooh, here's a fun idea. Have one of the AI voices do the intro. Like, I'm not trying to replace your gig, but tell me it would not be funny to get Hank Hill going, well, this is a launch. I'm Hank Hill. Something,
You're hired.
Yeah.
Crazy like that.
Don't need AI.
Or even like maybe the brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh,
I think that would be funny.
Narf.
Maybe like as a Halloween episode or something.
That's funny.
I don't know.
This is a good
Noodle
idea.
on the thought.
We do know
But-
we do know somebody who's particularly good with voices, Brent.
It's true. We could. But is he AI or not?
I don't know. It would be interesting. Speaking of AI, I bet you it's a particular challenge to try to get it to actually hit the beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't really
wow.
work like that.
Interesting.
It's you throw it all in there and you get what you get. I don't know, but it's probably possible. But it seems like a unique challenge. It's something the humans are a little bit better at. For now, I suppose. Thank you, Nick. All the way from Ecuador. All right, so we got a little space. The system labeled this one because I used an agent to pull this voicemail. It labeled it as Space Madness Panic. So I've been waiting for this one all week.
I'm not really sure when the show's coming out, but for whenever it is, this is referencing the panics from the past. But I came across one today that made me think of that show, and I figured I would just toss in my 50 cents on this. But something really interesting that I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about at this point is that there was once a panic about space madness. Like, not only trains going 30 miles an hour causing people to go crazy or whatever, but and there is a real world effect of the overview effect or something like that. But the idea that going into space would drive people crazy was another one of these panics that some really intelligent people had. Even I think it was Yuri Gagarin had to enter a special code to be able to pilot his ship back. and it's like they were scared he was going to get up there and go crazy. So that's just another thing that I think is really interesting that people panicked about. I don't know why that was worth the call in. Anyway.
Mayhem's in charge of panic reports now. That was good. I hadn't heard of Space Madness.
I think we've seen some evidence of this.
Mm.
Oh, there was a famous actress that went to space and then started, acting real strange when she got back.
Mm. Yeah.
And Elon sent things to space, and look at him now.
Yeah,
that's true, but he hasn't been himself.
Maybe it was all an act.
Oh, I like this. Let's go this direction.
Conspiracy theory begins right here.
Because it's flat, so you can't really go to space. That's true. And we know that to be true. All right, Bearded Tech comes in, and this sounds interesting.
Hey there, Chris and Angela.
Hey there, Bearded
y'all?
Tech.
This is Bearded Zero from Southeast New Mexico. Again,
Bearded Zero.
I
Sorry.
just watching the rest of launch, and I see that, I totally enjoyed the video. It's the only reason why I'm using Fountain right now, because it's the only one that seems like it wants to work on iOS to show the video content. Although, oddly enough, apparently Fountain doesn't want to auto-download the video podcast, which is kind of annoying. Kind of gives me old vibes back whenever I used to download podcasts to my Creative Zen player I had and had to do all that stuff manually. Ugh. Honestly, do not miss that at all. Anyways, y'all have yourselves a good one. Keep up the video stuff. I love the video. I'm going to.
Thanks, Bearded Zero.
Great.
I do think right now Fountain is, if you want to watch the video version of the show, Fountain does make it the easiest, but they don't let you download it offline. I think it starts caching once you start playing it.
Downloading it offline would be great. I heard it wasn't auto-downloading, which I guess makes sense to me from a
storage
or bandwidth standpoint for the providers.
Both,
so
all
maybe
things.
maybe I have that backwards. Maybe it just does download but doesn't auto-download. Fountain makes that really straightforward if you want to watch the video. It is just in the RSS feed. So you could just look at the RSS feed and find the video URL and play it in anything. That's sort of one hack. And then there's other apps that do make it possible, like Podverse and others.
Quick update.
Yeah.
In the chat, it has been determined by ADMJTK that Chris is Gryffindor and that Brent is Ravenclaw, like me. However, my cookies says that Brent feels more Hufflepuff.
Oh, well,
values hard work, paving their way.
Okay, well, can you tell me what Gryffindor is? Because that sounds bad to me, dude. Sounds bad.
Yeah, we don't talk about Gryffindor.
Yeah? Gryffindor. I don't want Gryffindor, do I? It's the bad guys, isn't it?
It's the bad guys.
It's bad guys, huh?
I don't know. I don't know enough Harry Potter.
You don't know? Don't you have the search machine over there?
What?
You looked up yours.
No, I didn't look it up.
No, it's from the chat.
The chat's
They're
doing
providing
it for us.
some. Yeah.
I think it's better if they place us anyways, because they know us better than we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Next voicemail.
All right. Soyam's back.
Did you just delete it?
I wanted to call you out a little bit. So I recently got my ham radio license, my technician's license. And the crazy thing is that I'm not even American. I had to use my foreign passport, and I had to make sure that the test people knew that they could use that. And then they one of them had a problem with some date on my passport because it was in day, month, year format.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to explain that no, it's like the other way around because the rest of the world, right?
Yeah, the rest of the world.
If I can do it, so can you, and so can JB, I guess, right?
We should do it this
Secondly, I was so devastated to hear that you're finally caving to dynamic ads because I've heard you rave or rant against them for ages, and
it's true.
You having to give up on that front feels like it's a calamity. It feels really wrong. Anyways, again, I forgot to say my name. My name is Soham G. I have my second voice now.
Soham.
And yeah, I mean, the world is going to shit so hard that we have all this war stuff, and now JB has dynamic ads. That's clearly the worst.
I like that you're comparable.
Totally the same. So
oh my God.
We do at Linux Fest, we will have ham radio people there.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if they will, well, they'll have resources for sure, but I don't know. They might.
Yeah, last year
That
they
might
had
be your-
giant antennas set up. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this year they have a booth. So they're official.
Yeah, and then on the dynamic ads, it's been a long fight. It has been a long fight. We found a company we like. The dynamic ads are still dynamic ads. And we think putting them at the beginning is better than dropping them somewhere in the middle of the show.
Yeah, get it over with.
Yeah, and yeah. So
we're sorry.
It's the it's just the nature of the advertising market. Thankfully, by holding out as long as we did, we avoided some of the worst stuff. And,
Mm-hmm.
People had to come up with better practices and things like that. And we were able to kind of catch that wave. But it's still not an ideal situation. But we are grateful because I'll tell you what, it could be a lifesaver. It's still very new to us. We don't really know the details and how it's all going to really work out for us. But we're experimenting because the lights got to stay on and the shows must go on. Thank you, So Ham. It's nice to hear from you. Now, we got a call. I don't know if they identified themselves, but I asked people to call in about their underpowered computers.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting to hear one of these.
Like, you kind of admitted it, right? Like, it depends on what you define as a computer and like what its job is and stuff like that.
Yep.
But as far as the most underpowered computer I have in my house, if you consider like a tower with the x86 proc in it, it's probably going to be my thing that I refer to as a NAS, even though I use it for all kinds of crap all at once. But it's like a dual core Phenom. I managed to get 16 gigs of RAM in it though, so I don't know if that's underpowered, but it's like, I think it's like 2 gigahertz dual core Phenom, and I'm still running a ton of containers on it, and I've got like 8 terabytes of storage in it, stuff like that.
Well, it's not bad.
The least powerful thing that has an operating system is probably going to be my Pon 64 watch, my Pontom.
Sure, yeah.
I don't even know the hardware on that, but it's enough that it has to be like a real-time operating system. And then I don't think I have any ESC32 stuff. I've gotten a lot of hardware before and then given a bunch of waste. I don't even know if any of that's still in there. But no, like as far as computers are concerned, I'm thinking it's that dual core Phenom. I'm not sure where this question is going.
That's a cool use of it, though.
I'm kind of concerned.
8 terabyte NAS isn't bad.
I'm kind of concerned.
I had my first computer, I believe, had an 8 megahertz processor. And then my second computer had a 20 megahertz processor. And then my third computer had a 22 megahertz processor. And it was upgraded, that one with the 22 or whatever it was upgraded eventually to 8 megabytes of RAM. It was a real baller. It was really great. Tech Dev, great guy. He's a really nice guy. We've met him, and he's on the Mumble from time to time, and he called in with a brand spanking new voicemail.
Well, hey, Chris and Launch Crew. Long time, first time. Name's Justin, but most people know me as Tech Dev. Haven't seen you guys since Texas. I'm listening live to the show, and I wanted to share a story about living in a dome.
Oh, cool.
Y'all are going over on the live stream right now about 3 attached domes, but I have a hell of a story. Actually, as I think about this story, maybe we should screen it for the show. I'm going to send you a version of this story, a message, Chris, on Element.
Oh, okay.
And if it's good for the show, then I will call back in with a voicemail.
Right?
And we can play it on the show.
What a tease. I never saw the DM.
Too bad you don't preview these voicemails.
Yeah. What a tease. And I also don't apparently get my DMs on Matrix.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'll look now that I know. Often somebody just has to tell me because I have different sidebar like versions and I have a lot going on. Editor Drew called in with some CPAP hair tips, and this is some valuable alpha.
Hey guys, I just want to agree and say bidets are fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and yes, you should get them heated. Just do it.
Okay,
but that's really not why I'm calling.
All right,
today I am calling to teach you how to keep your hair looking fly, even though you use a CPAP. That's right, it can be done.
Can it?
So the first thing you do is you go to the beauty store and go to the women's section, or maybe it's just all women's section. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing.
You get yourself a silk or suede hair cap.
Oh, a hair cap.
You can get them in all different kinds. Like you can either just get a silk scarf or one that's like a bonnet. It doesn't matter, just so long as it's silk on the inside. Very important. Got to be on the inside. So what you do when you go to bed, you flip your head over so that you're all the way upside down and your hair's hanging down. You get it into that cap, and then you put the CPAP on over top of the cap.
Okay.
That keeps your hair from rubbing against those little straps and lets your hair kind of move more freely. And since you do it with your hair kind of standing on its end, it doesn't get all flat and just look like an absolute travesty when you get up.
Volumizer.
Now, granted, I have long hair, so it's a little different.
And curly.
it should work reasonably well for the shorter hair folks as well, but I thought you ought to know. All right, thanks, guys.
That's a really good tip because see, if you got the CPAP on and you want to go out in the morning and you don't have time to like wet your whole head down or take a shower, it like makes these permanent marks in your hair that you cannot comb out.
Yeah, like a calyx.
Yeah, and there's no getting rid of it unless you like full on shower. Yeah. Which is my approach, but it's not always the convenient approach, or when you're traveling or something like that. So that's a great tip.
I got Abby a silk cap for Christmas this year.
I bet she looks cute. Mm-hmm. I think Drew called twice, actually. Let's play the next one.
Hey, guys. Editor Drew again.
Hello, Drew.
Sorry, I forgot to say. Yeah, I'll come on the show anytime, but you're going to need a couple of things to actually get me there.
Okay.
The first thing is you need a candle that was actually made in Rome, like the wax was melted into shape and around the string and all of that. It had to have been done in Rome. You're also going to need some chalk and some polka music.
Okay.
I'll send you the details of what you got to do with all that stuff privately, because otherwise I just won't get any sleep. But yeah, we'll get that done and I'll come on and we'll have a great time. All right. Thanks. Love you guys.
Why don't we just have your agent talk to my agent there, Drew?
Wow.
I love that he's got a writer. All right. We'll get on that. Sounds like very important details. All right. Jeff called in with a slow computer story.
Hey, launch crew.
Hey, Jeff.
It's Jeff, California.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about the slowest computer I've got running. Hard to say. One of those old Atom computers, no longer do anything, but I use them for testing. I think that old Bonobo, the Bonix 7, might be the oldest, slowest thing I have running now.
It is beautiful.
But I am trying to get my Rock Pro 64 up and running again with NixOS, and that's giving me some struggles. Anybody out there know how to do that? Let me know. I got no display out once the system's installed. Live environment's fine. Really weird. Anyway, I'm thinking about that whole road trip there with that whole self-driving robot you got. Super cool. Getting to experience it was cool. And also experiencing them back in 2016 when they're all radar, no cameras, makes me kind of wonder why they're not mixing the two. The camera-only system does give me some hesitancy. A little bit of redundancy would be nice. Having some radar, sonar. LiDAR is also visual-based, so having something using a different kind of radiation of sorts would be interesting. Some of my thoughts on that, and also kind of curious about how you're thinking on the whole monthly payment with that now. They're charging people monthly to get full self-driving. It's no longer a purchasable package. Maybe you got in before that. I hope so. It seems like the way the world's going, unfortunately, and I don't like it. Anyways, here for you guys soon.
Let's start with the second last.
Subscribe to Drive.
Yeah.
I'd pay almost $200 a month if they turned it on where I didn't have to supervise and I could sleep, because I would sleep, and that would probably be the best sleep I get in a 24-hour period is while my car is driving me. So for me, it would probably actually save my life in that sense, because I get no sleep unless I'm trying to drive, which then I have to spend the entire time trying to stay awake. So that would be worth money to me. Like, right, it just depends on what you realize when you get the self-driving feature is that you're getting time back, because you can do other things. You still have to supervise, but it's a little safer to be on a call. You can respond to a text message a little faster, things like that. Now, to the question of what was the other
subscription? Or are you paying? Did you get grandfathered in?
Oh no, I'm gonna do the $99 a month, because I don't know if I'll keep the car for more than 3 years. If you keep the car like 5-6 years, then it makes sense to buy it outright. But if you're not going to keep it that long,
but it's $100 a month. Is that how they're like making up for so between the power it takes to charge it or the fee that you pay to charge it at a station plus $100 a month,
Well, so I think there's kind of a differentiation in the cost to maintain the car and then like luxury services like self-driving. But I mean, Brent, you've been in it. Do you think it's worth $99 a month?
Literally driving here, I was telling my parents how much they should have bought a vehicle like this, because it's safer. It's a better driver than I am, certainly. I'm going to say two things. One, just emotionally, yeah, 100%. But also trying to think of like the whole economical package. If you look at the total cost of ownership of this thing, you're probably still saving money paying that every month.
Possibly, yeah. So, I remember, I think his other question was the vision versus other sensory systems. So I think this is going to be, this right there is one of the more interesting things we're going to see play out as Rivian and others get the NVIDIA package and whatnot. start doing self-driving. Rivian is going to initially do a mix of vision and LiDAR, vision being camera, obviously. And then what Tesla seems to be doing is they seem to be going all in on vision, and then they do some LiDAR passes before the cars are approved to drive in the area. But to work it back a little bit, they didn't start there, as you know, right? They started with mixed cameras and mixed sensors. And then they had a big brain idea, they claim, that what they realized is that in a split-second decision-making moment, the system trying to pick between two different sensor inputs and then trying to make a judgment call on which one it should believe ended up not really being very ideal in emergency situations. And their theory, as you probably have heard, is that the roads were designed for vision. Vision is how we drive. And so it's very likely that you could train these things to do it with vision. And then when you account for the fact that it has 360-degree vision where you only have forwards vision, and it's a limited forwards vision at that, you could see how it would work with cameras. In order to make it, I think, really robust, the cameras need to have solutions to reduce light glare, which Tesla currently has a patent on that looks very impressive. And then they need more self-cleaning, which the robotaxis do have. But like the Model Y or 3 does not have self-cleaning cameras at the moment.
How much are they going to charge you for the self-cleaning cameras?
Well, I think it would just be part of it, I think why going to subscription, what you get is that hardware becomes part of the subscription. So later on, if your car is compatible, you just get the new hardware possible.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I just lick my finger and my camera every time I walk behind my car.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you lick your finger after?
Well, actually, so that's all it takes for me is...
I don't actually lick my finger. It's gross.
My front camera does have a washer, but my rear camera doesn't. So I just... Like you said, I
am the washer.
I have a little paper towel or something, and I just on my way walking by the car.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where the cameras were, I don't know, unhappy with the amount of dirtness? Yeah.
No, not dirt. No, just really intense rain.
Yeah, I had that. My eyesight stopped working on the way to Mount Vernon this morning.
Yeah, they'll complain. They'll be like, too much water.
Yeah, I couldn't use my cruise control, which is not self-driving. I have a Subaru.
It does a gradual degradation. It'll start telling you, hey, I'm starting to see there's too much visibility issues. So those are the kinds of things a vision system struggles with. But having said that, right, like we have very intense rain here. We have really intense, like massive water getting kicked. Yeah, it's worst case scenario. And
first world Pacific Northwest problems.
Because what you also get though with the self-driving in that moment is down to the micro slippage, the microsecond, the car is aware of every little slip of every single tire, and the logic to make corrections for those slippage is actually in the motor itself. It doesn't even have to go all the way up to the main computer and then decide. It's actually happening in real time in the motor. It's correcting for tire slippage, and then you combine the weight of an EV. So the dynamic tire slipping that is just really better than anybody else, combined with the weight of an EV, makes it a very good car when it's raining. It's very solid. It takes a lot to make the car hydroplane. So then...
I noticed you have winter tires that are ready to be put on any time now. I did, and I was kind of thinking about that because with the technology, like we know all-wheel drive has been really impressive for, bad conditions like snow and rain. But I would assume with this brand new technology that you're talking about, it kind of makes up for bad tires. Mm-hmm. Like having good tires is obviously
to a degree.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
I think what it does is people get a little overconfident sometimes. Sure. But yeah.
But it can compensate in ways that maybe you couldn't with.
You could find some pretty fun videos of people taking their Teslas out into like a parking lot and then trying to get it to brake.
Can we do that after the show?
Needs to snow first. But those are good questions. And so I guess we'll see, right? We'll see if the vision-based thing can win out in the market or if like the Rivian approach where they're going to do cameras and LiDAR and how they solve trying to make a decision between the two inputs.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff also mentioned the old computers that he has laying around. I noticed there's some under his bed and stuff that we should probably
Did
put
he
to
look
work.
there?
We can
Maybe they're not running.
Go through a little tour.
Jeff and I are so similar in that way that there's a special kind of joy when you take a computer that's old and forgotten and bring it back to life in some kind of workload.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
So I wanted to share my old
do it
computer.
Yeah, what
if
do
you
you
don't
got?
mind. Well, I got, as you know, several. There's a trash computer that I found literally at the landfill that's running my brother's media center and has been for 5 years now. It has a broken screen, but nobody ever really noticed because we just attach it to the TV and works perfectly fine. It's a T440. That thing's awesome. But I think the computer that has been the oldest, it's been in the family for a very long time, longer than my niece, is my father's old ThinkPad T61, which came out eons ago and has a Core 2 Duo in it, which you haven't heard those words in a long time.
Yeah.
Has a total of 3 gigs of RAM.
Okay, all right.
DDR2. I don't know when the last time
3
you heard.
is an odd amount, too.
I know it is. Yeah, it really is. And that thing I've taken apart several times to like grease the cooling fan, and that's all it's ever needed. It's starting to make noise again. They sent me a note being like, there's weird noise coming from behind the TV.
That's the old fan.
But that thing has been running their server in their place, doing backups automatically every single day for 10 years, something like that. And that thing just keeps going.
Nice.
It doesn't stop. Yeah, I just logged into it on the show here. It's still kicking. Let me see here.
What's your uptime? Yeah, what's your uptime?
Only 74 days because I upgraded it when I was there.
But, that's good. That's good of you.
But previously it was like 700 days before I did that upgrade. So
nice. That is a good old one.
Yeah, it keeps kicking.
Matt might have a story for us. He called in, and the label says it's about a Nuck, but then it also says Pink Floyd.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how I'm not sure how they all come together, but we're about to find out.
Hello, Chris and Angela and Brent in the past. This is Matt from Clearwater, Florida. Rapid fire, 3 quick topics. Number 1, bidet. Even with no heat, at least in Florida, your mileage may vary, the water is warm enough and it's great. I don't have the equipment to report self firsthand, but my wife reports no issues with crossing the stream. The aim is good. Chris, the rhythmic intros, good job. I think it sounds great if you either match the beat of the music like you did this past time or just talk completely separately from the rhythm. Either of those is fine. Number 3, the lowest power computing device that did the most interesting thing. In like 2017 or 18, I was part of a huge Pink Floyd show, and I had a tiny little Intel NUC, like a Pentium Silver J5005 or something, running Ubuntu Mate, and it ran the entire click track, lighting sync, video server, time code, all that stuff. Eventually, we used a Mac Mini instead, but for a while, it was just that tiny little NUC.
Cool.
Thanks. I love the show. Talk to you later.
Dang.
Oh, that's cool.
Matt just got that out. Busted it right through.
Right.
What a pro.
I cannot top
Thank you, Matt. That's a cool story, too. Hey, Bearded Zero's back. We got Bearded Zero again.
Howdy, y'all. This is Bearded Zero from southeastern New Mexico again, calling in about that bidet that was last week. So there's a female option, and I'll let you know. My wife's never actually used it.
Right?
She's like, nah, I'm good.
You have it installed?
But there's a female option.
You didn't use it?
Like a button
preset?
on the thing.
Okay.
You push it, it does a thing. The nozzle is actually like adjustable.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it go forward farther or backwards farther.
I'm not reaching into the toilet.
You can, depending on the model, you can store that. But there's a female wash button and there's a standard wash button. Heated seat is a button you can turn on and off, so you don't always have to have it. You don't want to blow dry the giblets. You don't got to blow dry the giblets. You know, it's just, it's. And as for the power situation, I just had the extension cable ran out towards
Okay.
There's usually a power outlet in the bathroom.
What?
Depends on your bathroom.
By the toilet,
so
though?
just ran the extension cable over that thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the kind of person that'd be like spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a new power outlet put in. And I would do it myself if I was going to do that because I'm that damn cheap. I'd rather spend on hard drives. But I miss mine. Really miss it. And the plumbing situation is pretty easy. It's just tees off of the current water supply. So that part's easy. They do have some that aren't powered. So if you're okay with cold water on the nether regions, then you can have that too. It operates all pneumatically at that point. I don't think it has nearly as much fancy bells and whistles and whatnot. And I guess while we're on the topic of Japan or toilets in general, we went to Japan once, and like at the freaking hotel I stayed at, I opened up the bathroom door. The toilet seat's like, whoop, or the lid, it opened itself up.
Okay, is it giblets or is it giblets?
I mean, it could be either.
It's a regional preference.
I just think it's funny that I have an AI agent pulling these clips down and then trying to summarize them and title them.
What was that one?
No, it was actually really good bidet follow-up, but it's just funny that the machine's sorting through that.
Well, at what point do we get AI in our bidets?
Soon. I'm sure it'll sell bidets. Yeah, so I think the way he's describing it, Ange, it's got like a control panel. And then, but the part that I'm still not sure on, I mean, it's nice that it has a female preset, but not all female presets are the same. Let me just say.
Well,
so
not all females are the
that's
same.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like, you got to dial it in.
And what if a dude uses it? What does that look like?
You have to think about it.
But you got to dial it in. So you got to turn it on. Oop, not the right spot.
No,
not the right spot.
You're missing all of the opportunity.
UTI.
It takes weeks to dial it in, but you'll get there. You got to think of it like a fancy car that has like the profiles.
Yeah,
and
for
so,
sure. No, I get
profile
it.
one is like,
but you got to get your seat in the mirrors in the right spot before you set the profile.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That process seems like a process. Like, you know?
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
once it's set, you never think about it again. You know,
That's true.
Life's better.
All right, there was a little more on the Japan toilet. This is clearly a topic that matters to the audience.
Like I was saying, it was the most amazing thing I ever saw. And the worst part is all the controls are in Japanese. So I was like, I don't know what these things do. I'd probably kill myself or some shit. So it didn't play with it too much. But that's originally what made me like, maybe I should get one. And then like COVID happened, and I didn't have to worry about toilet paper. The rest of the family had to worry about toilet paper.
That's true.
I didn't.
It's better for the earth.
And then since it was in mom and dad's bathroom, kids didn't want to use the thing. So, you know, that's just the way it is. Anyway,
He misses it.
Y'all have a good one and get a bidet. It'll be fun.
It's
You'll
like
love
a
it.
family member.
Bye, y'all.
I think he wants us to get a bidet so he can live vicariously through our bidet experience to relive his bidet highlight years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what's happening here. Wow, that's a great series
You
of calls.
should get a bidet for your birthday.
A bidet for the birthday. All right, we'll get one here at the studio. We'll install it
I'll get
upstairs.
one. Yeah. Oh, upstairs because you never use that.
We'll just run an
Yeah,
extension
right.
cord up to that one and, you know.
On the broken toilet?
Jeff and I can install a plug.
Thank you, everybody who called in. That is our board. So if you didn't hear your voicemail, then call back, leave us a voicemail, or give us a new one. You know we want it. And we appreciate them very much. And with that, it is time for our track of the week.
Now's the time. It's the song of the week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
And our track of the week is from Justin Landtrip, and it is his number one hit right now, or it's like the number two hit. He's firing off on the Value for Value charts, and it is the track If I Could See the Future.
My good friend thinks I will die first. I tell him I'm more afraid I'll die last. And just pile the flowers to the moon, babe. Come on up just to hear you laugh. And all our talking and all our heartbeats, do we defy anything? I don't know. We walk some talk through this beautiful town. And both grew up in its familiar bounds. And just climbing across the gray teeth of the earth. Got nothing to forgive, just more to learn. If I could see the future, would I still get up? Right now I can't say I would. No, I can't say. No, I can't. While we are here, let us push ahead, forging some meaning from what we did. Our hearts wide open towards that end, feet to the fire, begin again. And I don't know much about time. There's proof it's not a straight line. Each to our own majesty, each to our own meaning. Fortune mine, fortune mine, fortune mine. fortune. My good friend, oh, he's alone. Oh, he's howling out loud, man, he's calling my bluff. He's got my back, I don't need to ask. That don't mean I always get what I like. And all our talking with all our heartbeats alone, we try to end alone. Try and we 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 try. We float the pack to the general store. I came here as a kid after all my chores. Now I'm building up a love so I can be killed. I got 1,000 whispers and iron will. If I could see the future, would it comfort us? If I could just see far enough, far enough, far enough. And while we are here, let us push ahead, forging some meaning from what pretends. Our hearts wide open towards that end, feet to the fire, begin again. And I don't know much about time. There's proof it's not a straight line. Each to our own majesty, each to our own meaning.
Well, I think it's time we get to those there boosts. We've been saying it's time to do some boosts. We've been saying that around here for days. Nobody's doing the boost. Why won't anybody do the boost?
I am programmed in multiple techniques.
We're going to do the boost. So should I do a fresh check, see if anything live came in? No, our last boost. Oh, good. All right, our first boost.
Careful.
I'm going to need to boot up.
Boots with the fur.
Boosts with the fur. We should have a boost amount that is the boost with the fur.
Yeah.
That would be fun. So Adversary 17 is our baller booster this week. Adversaries writes, fidgets are a big part of my life, mostly because when you have a 3D printer, you can make your own.
Oh my gosh,
I've
yes.
seen the printer. I've seen the fidgets. I agree with all of this.
I've made probably around 20 infinity cubes for people and 2 for myself. 1 for work and 1 for home. Look up the fidgets. Look up fidget on printlabs.com or Thingiverse.
It's
Printables, same thing.
Yeah.
Same letters, different.
I don't need glasses. Shut up, you need glasses.
I have glasses.
That's not my dyslexia.
No, I'm fine. He says, I have a show production question for you. What are JB's operating? What part of JB's operating takes the most of your time?
Operations.
What takes the most energy?
Wow.
And what is the highest cost? As a member, I want to help offset some.
Cost as in dollars here, I would expect, but there's also like mental cost, I think, is a big thing for us.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you break it down. But from a financial part, I'd say trips. Trips are probably our highest cost thing that we do, or events.
Yeah, that and there's
high
some
reward,
annual.
though, I would argue. I would argue high reward.
Yeah.
We have a lot of dues and subscriptions, like recurring things. And so top ones would be Hootsuite and Google, the Google Suite. Those are both over $1,000 each year.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you we could replace Hootsuite with a AI system.
Wes.
Yeah, so there's like those practical operation things, and there's like the trips that cost a lot of money. What takes the most amount of your time would be topic prep. I mean, you think about it, you're always trying to, what they would say, you're trying to break the next show. You're always trying to come up with the next topic, and you want it to be good, and you want to put time in, and it requires all 3 of us working throughout the week on that. And then
just the research we do.
Yeah.
It's constant.
And then you have to put it together, and then you have to distill it down into something that you can fit into a podcast. And then after that, right, it's right into the launch. And then after the launch wraps up, it's right into TWIB. But of course, you can't do TWIB in just one day. So TWIB is really a 3-day project. So I kind of mix it in throughout. And then Thursdays, really for me, it's all meetings and calls and catch up work. And then Friday, we make sure that we're really nailed in on the LUP topic that we've been working on. And so that never ends. Maybe for first half of the day on Saturday, or a day on Saturday when the kids are around, like that's the day I don't work. Another question is, a member who also boosts, do you prefer having income from Memberful or from the boost? So say, for example, I wanted to increase my financial contribution to JB. Is the membership or the boost more effective or easier for you guys to take in? This used to come up a lot.
Yeah.
And here's how I'd phrase it, is like memberships go directly to operational ongoing costs, and the boosts are for future leveraging. So for example, Strike, you're probably familiar with Strike Adversaries, they now have a line of credits for businesses that are Bitcoin backed. So as the company accumulates Bitcoin through the boosts over the years, in the future, we will have the ability to, say, call on a line of credit that doesn't require going to the bank, doesn't require a credit check. It just requires proof of sats. And then the bank or the business can draw on that line of credit as it needs to cover operational costs. So kind of like, it's what viewpoint do you want to take when you're trying to support the network? The obvious also benefit to the membership is you also get the bootleg. And then the benefit to the boost is you're sending us a signal on that topic on that particular episode.
Or to a particular host preference.
Yep. And it's something we take really seriously. Because if you're going to put your hard-earned sats behind that to send that signal in, then it's definitely worth us paying attention to. Good questions. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a tough question, I think, to answer, because the subtext of the question is, how can me as a listener make the biggest impact in helping JB? And there's just so many ways that we get help that are direct and non-direct, and even just like Adversaries let me hang out there for a couple days and do a show from there, and then charge up my van and figure out solar panels. And that was a huge gift for that particular trip. I would say it's hard to put a value on that, but that made the trip, really. And I almost stopped in on the way home because I needed a place to stay. But next time.
It wouldn't be easy at first, but content is what we're constantly working on. And there is a creative space where if we could just take our foot off the gas for even a week, we open up our creative window a lot. And sometimes our trips help us with that. Quite often the trips do help with that. But I could see maybe a world where we work with somebody like Adversaries and kind of make them a segment producer, and he's got a research project whatever that he's been working on for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? Because what we have gotten really good at is taking a huge topic and in 1 week getting it down to what we can talk about on the show and having actual practical experience with it. And I think if you're just starting whole cloth with that process that we do, and I'm not trying to brag, but I think that process we do in 7 days would take most people 3 months. But that's just because we've been doing it for so long. We're not bragging. It's if we couldn't do it that fast now, what the hell would we be doing? We'd be doing it wrong. But if a listener had that kind of time to build it up a topic for a little bit, then they could come on 1 week and we would essentially interview them about it, and it would help us with the content for that week. There could be a world where that happens.
Like a contributor, listener contributor.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that idea. There's a follow-up question here that I think is a really good one. Atypical Colonel in the chat room says, well, how much more in memberships or boosts would it take to get rid of dynamic ads? That's a tricky one, huh?
I don't know if I'd have that number easily.
Well, maybe we could think about it and get back.
Yeah. I mean, because what the other implied question is or let me phrase it differently. I would like to not only have revenue, that'd be a good start, and then I would like to have revenue that maybe we have a little extra surplus with, because going back to content, all the content, and I have to do it every week. We have to constantly keep going, and we don't have a budget to ever buy hardware. And so much of what we actually cover is hardware. And so the only time we talk about hardware is when one of the three of us personally buys something. So it'd be nice if, every now and then we could buy a piece of hardware for the show and build something with it and make a couple of segments out of it. So what I'm getting at, or it'd be nice if we could go to Planet Nix and maybe we just pay for it. And maybe we get some listener contributions to help out, but we don't have to have a sponsor if we don't need one. These kinds of things would be really nice, but you don't get there unless there's some revenue coming in. And We definitely wouldn't get there if we said no to advertising right now. And I don't think the memberships, it would take probably...
Would you have to double them, triple them?
Probably at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, though. That's just me guessing.
Yeah. I think the stretch goal, just as a last little thing, stretch goal we talk about quite often is have JB at the point where a Brent, a Wes could be full-time.
You could have people working.
A Drew could be full-time, et cetera.
You could have somebody that's doing ads, right? You could have a salesperson.
Right.
Would be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they could be really, thoughtful about that process because it'd be their full focus.
Yeah, we're just not there. We're at the scariest time.
We're at the opposite end of
financially.
that. Yeah.
Unfortunately, like it is. We have had to go without payments. So it is. We're doing what we can to keep it going.
I have an idea. Find more vans, sell them for profit, right?
Yeah, flip them.
After driving them across the country a couple times.
Right.
Shakedown.
J-Cube 3 comes in with 36,057 sats. Well, you guys are making me want a Tesla. Also, I'm thinking of buying a framework desktop with the Ryzen AI Max 300 and 120 gigabytes of shared memory to use for local AI. What's your take on that?
My take is send it here first. We'll give it a try and let you know if it's worth it, and then ship it back to you.
Yeah, we don't have the budget for that hardware, but if you,
yeah, we can borrow.
if you want to send it here first.
I hate to say this, but I almost worry 128 gigs is just not enough.
I agree.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough, and Dell just announced an AI workstation with like 780 gigs of RAM.
Wow.
And that's about enough. That's about enough. I could still use more than that. But if you are not looking for massive models, or you're looking, and there's a lot of really good open source like the Quen stuff, or there's a lot you could run on that. So I don't want to dissuade you from it if there's, if you got to focus. But if you're thinking like you're going to be running like, high-end coding model, maybe some very focused ones, I think you'd be, I don't want to dissuade you completely because I think you'd be pretty successful.
In this particular case, it's upgradable, right? So buy that now.
I think 128 might be the max, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that.
I think it might be built in.
Oh, gosh.
Because it's shared memory.
Right.
Which is what you need in the AI world. You want that. Well, let us know how it goes. Woodland Geeks comes in with 22,222 sats.
This old duck still got it.
Says, welcome back. Here's a value boost. Thank you very much.
Things are looking up for old that duck.
So that was for last week, actually.
Yeah, it came in a little late.
Oh, okay.
We had a couple come in after the show.
Yeah. Well, we got the 17,000 for St. Patrick's Day last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, so maybe there's a report error there.
Go down to Outdoor Geek. Yeah. That's the new one.
The thing on my desk that I fidget with the most is a stress ball that looks like the Earth branded by Little Fuse. I also fidget with a plastic ring with a fake stone that spins and makes a satisfying sound.
It fits my pinky.
I bet that
How
is
cute.
I bet. Oh.
Bad for podcasting, good for everything else.
Yeah, right.
The next time you need an EV charger, I recommend OpenVerse. It's an open hardware software, openverse.com. I bought mine in 2017. It lives in my garage. I've had to fix it twice, and I ordered parts and fixed it myself. I just ordered the ESP. Oh, cool. I ordered the ESP32-based Wi-Fi module and upgraded the original 8266 it came with. Yeah. I just started using it with Home Assistant, and I don't have solar yet, but OpenEVSE has features for charging based on your solar.
Okay, before you move on.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Did you open the Nightingale.cafe?
No, that is cool, though. He says, I found on Hacker News, Nightingale.cafe. What did you think of this one, Ange?
I don't know. I just opened it. I don't know what it is.
So you can run...
turn any song into karaoke?
Yeah.
What?
That's for you.
A self-contained party game that separates the vocals, transcribes the lyrics, and plays it all back with world level sync and pitch scoring.
We will be checking that out tonight.
I have...
For sure.
I guess they just have some music going on the website. I'm not sure. They got a cool video, though. But yeah, it has player profiles, too. Multiple profiles with separate scoring histories. So it'll score you on how you did in your pitch on the song.
Nice.
That's fun.
I did see an ad for Carafun and how everybody's like holding their phones and singing into it at the same time, and then it like judges everyone's accuracy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It looks kind of lame, but also fun at the same time.
I bet Abby'd be good at that. All right, Mr. Turd Ferguson's back with 11,101 sats.
Turd Ferguson!
You kids and your fidget spinners. Too much work. You just got to do what I do, turn on the boob tube and zone out for a while.
No need to fidget.
We do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fidget though while you watch the boob tube?
Yeah, I don't really watch TV. I am watching One Piece season 2 though.
I tell you what. Brent was fidgeting last night like
Oh,
crazy
really?
while we were watching TV. Yeah, you were. You were even standing up a couple of times.
You guys had to stop snuggling
we watched
or what?
an extremely uncomfortable set of episodes of Land Trek, and
it made Brent physically uncomfortable.
Oh, it still is. It's so bad.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you, Turd. Thank you, everybody. Now, these numbers are going to be wrong. It's my bad. I probably should have double-checked the report. But we're going to go with it because the show's needed a good number for a while. So let's pretend like it's the CPI number, and we'll just all believe it. We had 8 of you stream stats, stacking 11,287. You combine it all together, our fake stats for this week are 183,944 fake Satoshis. Woo! Thank you, everybody. You know we appreciate that support, either if you're a member over Jupiter.party or if you sent us some value directly using a boost. You knows we appreciate you here at the launch, and you're keeping the show going. You don't have a sponsor. It has you.
Chris found a gem, an easy flip. Let's cash it in. It's barely standing, kind of scary, but potential's extraordinary. Just trust me, it's a winner. Just trust me, it's a winner.
Well, we've been talking about dome houses. Well, can I present to you onion houses?
What?
Onion houses. $1.3 million for a house that looks like a bunch of onions.
Is it blooming?
They're not quite blooming yet.
No, it's like an onion container.
Yeah.
Or like an uncut onion.
Yeah, like something you might use to like save the onion, I suppose. So here is the stats for you. It is $1.3 million. It's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. 3 beds, 4 baths, 6,347 square feet.
Wow.
Built in 1977. On the market for almost a year. I guess people don't want onion-shaped houses.
Well,
I would live here.
It's neat, right?
I mean, it's like 4 separate units, right?
Yeah.
Like communal living?
Yeah.
It's 1.3 million split 4 ways?
Instead of being an empty nester, you just give them each their
Yes.
onion.
Give their own onion.
Yeah.
And also, it has a Batman villain spiral case that's pretty great. Like, it gives Batman energy for sure.
Yeah, you know, on the outside, there's this big, long deck. Looks like ADA compliancy, but there's a lot of stairs, and I'm not seeing a lift anywhere.
What do you think about the bent kitchen? Yeah, I'm not sure that would be great. I'm not so sure about that.
I like the surroundings, the woods.
Yeah, it is a nice piece of property.
If we got this as the JB compound, would it give a different kind of sense to the word podcast? Because you have your own pod.
Okay,
Right.
so
Going to the
I thought
pod.
it was only like 4, but picture 56 shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 onion domes.
Oh, wow.
Only 4 baths, though, so we would have to kind of split up the bathrooms a little bit.
Well, 4 is enough.
Okay, so the only problem with this place is not really disaster ready. So the next place I have for you.
Okay.
Disaster resilience with luxury. $1,250,000, 3 beds, 2 baths, 163 square feet in Maryland, in a very pretty area, actually, of Maryland. This one's not so much onions. This is more back to traditional cement domes. $1.25 million for a series of cement domes. There are, built in 2022, there's a 5.95 acre lot. And here's what's actually pretty interesting about this place, is it is FEMA ready, FEMA recognized disaster resilient architecture from wind, fire, and massive storm. Additionally, the home also is near a parking, or has a parking area with a dedicated RV station, up to 40-foot motorhome with full hookups. And this is weird. It's 77 minutes away from the president's favorite hangout, Camp David. Well,
is that good
most
or bad?
presidents. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, what?
It's weird.
Okay.
It's weird, I think.
First thing to get nuked?
But these homes, they're not very popular because it turns out the industry is very much biased towards square homes that are easy to mass produce.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't hang any artwork.
No,
in
and
it.
it's made of concrete. But here's a little bit of details about why it's FEMA approved.
This house has been certified by the U.S. government as being capable of withstanding an EF5 tornado or a Category 5 hurricane. It cuts energy bills by up to 75%.
Wow.
Insurance premiums by up to 90%.
Wow.
And can last for centuries without any rot or pest problems. Yet right now across America, a country where over 1 million new houses are built every single year, less than 900 of these homes exist. This is called a monolithic dome.
Yeah, so it's a monolithic dome.
Okay.
And basically it comes down to like the system just isn't really set up to handle these things and to build them with concrete. And when you go into an area you want to build, like the inspectors don't have any idea what you're talking about. However, the inside of this place is ugly. Don't you think?
So ugly.
It's because it's so old, I think.
Especially compared to that onion place that had like skylights in each of the 7 domes.
Check that garage, though. That is
got a nice
garage. Cool.
garage.
What about the sunroom?
It's
like,
you know what? Oh, that is, boy, and that area, that sunroom is sweet. You're right about that. You know what it reminds me of is just way too much forehead. Like, it's just a lot because the walls and stuff, the big white walls, it's all forehead.
my gosh.
I don't like it. It's so, I figured since we're not going to like the aesthetic, why not pay a little bit higher price?
A little?
But have a real good time. All
okay.
Right. So this one I'm calling the LA Flex. It's just it's a little expensive, okay? It's $85 million.
Just.
And it's where else? Los Angeles. At that price, where else would it be? 4 beds, 7 baths, 23,894 square feet, built in 2025, created in collaboration with a Grammy-nominated music producer, Alex da Kid, and the interior designer, Jeff Corney. The home represents a 14-year creative journey focused on design, technology, and wellness. I'll be curious to know if either of you have a clever enough eye to catch the very, very strange thing about this house. It's otherwise very beautiful.
As I'm searching, I'm just going to say the fee for the photographer here would be like a mortgage payment easy.
Yeah, this guy did his work. There's one shot that might take you a second to figure out what's going on. It's not immediately obvious, so I wouldn't blame you for not catching it. I have it up on my screen right now. If you look at the perspectives in I don't know which let's see, it's starting at photo 14. So listeners, if you want to go check the show notes, go look at photo 14 and 15.
This place has a lot of glass and like stone marble walls.
Do you notice the perspectives in photo 14 and 15? Took me a minute to catch this. That's a giant 2-way mirror.
Are you sure?
Look at it, Ange. Look at it. This is the other one. 14 is one side of the mirror.
Interesting.
And the other side is the bedroom. And it's a peeping mirror.
What?
From both sides. You're right. I thought it was just reflecting, but
here's how they describe it. The innovative pleasure suite, designed with the pleasure chest of West Hollywood.
Pleasure chest.
You grossed yourself out?
Yeah, the pleasure chest of West Hollywood adds an additional layer of holistic living with advanced lighting and a Murphy bed for multifunctional use.
Murphy bed for what? The camera operator? Or
I don't know. They do suggest you could rent it out and help offset some of the mortgage by letting pornos film in there.
Wow.
There's a bowling lane.
Dude, it has a central light shaft with a cascading water feature, bringing light and movement to the core of the home. This place has 8 pools integrated throughout the property, including a wraparound interior pool, an 80-foot outdoor pool, and a 2-person infinity pool extending from the primary bedroom. Oh. There is a glass car elevator.
Yeah,
so when you park, it lifts your car into the living
18.
space.
They show it through the basketball court.
So that way when you're chilling, you can see your cool car.
Go to right there. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, there's another room where you can see the car as well. It is a very impressive place. I mean, but it's $85 million, so it probably should be.
Ridiculous. Who's buying that?
And you get a great view of the LA city line from your infinity pool.
All of a sudden, I feel quite a contrast between my cabin or van and this place.
Yeah.
Can I just live in one of these rooms?
I know. If you could just Airbnb it for a weekend, right? But yeah, it does have that one particular pleasure room that it took me a second. I was looking, I'm like, what is odd about this photo? And they call it the pleasure suite. There you have it. Pretty new, too. Took them 14 years to build it, and it's already on the market for $85 million. It's a high price, but it's a good time.
It's got a great view.
Yeah, it does. Very, very good view. Probably a good $20 million of the price right there.
Bet you it's a winner.
I bet it is. You see what I'm saying? I picked some good ones for you. All right, that wraps it up for us. Thank you, everybody who called in. It was a great voicemail batch. Of course, we'd like to reset the board, so do call in and leave us a voicemail for next week. And if you want to check out the pictures or anything else we talked about, those are at weeklylaunch.rocks. And this was episode 59 Oh my gosh, 60 next week.
Mm-hmm.
Getting old.
Wonder what we're gonna do. What do you do for the 60th anniversary? Do you know what the 60th anniversary gift is?
None of us is going to make that.
Yeah, according to Amazon, it's a sink. No, I'm kidding. No, Amazon says it's a plaque. I don't know how we make an episode out of that. All right, that's it. Thank you very much from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast. Thank you for listening. We'll see you back here next week.